Old pattern, intention, hesitation, fear, delay. New pattern, intention, countdown, action. This isn't a productivity trick. It's a self-leadership strategy. What's happening inside your brain when you count down? According to research from the Brain Research Institute at the University of California, the countdown activates your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for conscious decision-making, focus, and goal-directed behavior. That means right pointing back hand index. The countdown itself is an intentional act, and that awakens your higher brain. Right pointing back hand index. You break out of emotional autopilot and step back into control. Open book. A real example, the call that almost didn't happen. One young person shared this story. I wanted to call my mom and apologize after a big argument. But every time I picked up the phone, I put it back down. Shame, pride, fear, it held me back. One day, I just said, 5 to 4, 3 to 2, 1, and I dialed. I didn't think anymore. I just did it. And that call changed everything. To you, it may sound like a small act. But to that person, it was the first decision made by a new version of themselves. A version driven not by emotion, but by values and conscious choice. And if you're still wondering, can 5 seconds really make a difference? Ask yourself, how many times have you not started because of just a few seconds of doubt? How many chances did you let pass because you hesitated? How many times did you say later but never came back? No, 5 seconds won't change your whole life immediately. But they can open the door. And when you step through it, you enter a new reality, one where action is possible. Right pointing back hand index. Up next. How do you actually apply the 5-second rule in real life? From small tasks to identity-shaping decisions? Part 3, turning the 5-second rule into a daily reflex. You might be thinking, okay, it makes sense, but how do I actually use it in real life? Because the truth is, if you know about the 5-second rule but don't train yourself to use it in the moment, you'll fall back into the same old loop. You know, but you don't act. That's why the key is right pointing back hand index. Turn it into a reflex. Electric light bulb. Use it in small, but crucial, moments. The 5-second rule isn't just for big life-changing decisions like launching a business, quitting your job, or ending a relationship. In fact, it works best in the tiny moments where hesitation sneaks in and slowly drains your energy. For example, in the morning, your alarm goes off and you're tempted to hit snooze. Right pointing back hand index. 5 to 4, 3 to 2, 1, sit up. You glance at your book, but reach for your phone instead. Right pointing back hand index. 5 to 4, 3 to 2, 1, open the book. You need to reply to a client's email, but feel not ready yet. Right pointing back hand index. 5 to 4, 3 to 2, 1, type the first sentence. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to finish everything. You just need that first small action, taken before your brain talks you out of it. Use the 5-second rule to trigger your new identity. Every time you use this rule, you're not just getting something done. You're reinforcing your new identity. You're not the person who hesitates. You're the person who takes charge of your behavior.